Welcome back to Valley News Now. I'm Adam Shalifin, joined remotely by Eric Moon on the UND hockey beat. Eric, just wrapping up the press conference there, we heard from Abram Wiebe, Louis Jammernick, and Coach Barry. That's still on our YouTube and Facebook, and will be posted on the website shortly if you missed that. But before we get into it, Eric, what were some of your takeaways from that press conference?
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm going to start with last weekend and the Minnesota State weekend, of course. For any fans who didn't see, UND split against Minnesota State, had the incredible comeback win with 2 power play goals and then the go-ahead goal in the third period to win that game 3-2. And then they said they got shut out 3-0 on Saturday night, ultimately earning the split against Mankato. But it was interesting. The team said that Saturday they actually played better than they did on Friday. Friday was a really resilient performance. But Saturday, their game was much better. The chances just weren't falling for them. But BU, I mean, this is kind of your this is the biggest non-conference series of the season by far. A team that went to the Frozen Four last year coming into the town. BU, even without Max Celebrini now in the NHL and Lane Hudson now in the NHL, Terriers are still absolutely loaded with talent, and the guys are excited to take on this challenge this weekend here at the Ralph.
Now, Eric, this is quite a challenge. As you mentioned, this is the 3 against 7. And I heard you in the press conference asking about specific players that UND has to really keep under control. Who are some players that fans should be knowing about, really, skating in for the Terriers?
Well, we got to start with the new guy. It's Cole Eiserman. He's a freshman first-round pick, went to the New York Rangers this summer in the draft, so he'll be a future teammate of E.J. Embry here at North Dakota. Right now, they're opponents, obviously, but Cole Eiserman's been fantastic to start his college career at BU. Only played 3 games. He has 4 goals already, so he's already off to a great start. I mentioned in the presser the Hudson brothers, so Lane Hudson is now in Montreal, but he has 3 other brothers, and 2 of them play at BU and are having great seasons again. Cole Hudson is a second-round pick of the Washington Capitals. He's on that top pairing on the blue line. Quinn Hudson has played right wing on the top line for BU. So a lot of weapons, just even besides those guys, really all over the ice. It's what makes Boston University one of the best teams in the country. Off air, I've said, the championship this year runs through Denver and BC, and I think so far in this season, even without Max Celebrini and without Lane Hudson, BU could be put in that category as well with Denver and BC.
And in the pairwise, that's definitely what it says. You know, you have Maine at number 1, Denver, Boston College, Western Michigan, interestingly enough, at 4, despite discrepancy in the USA Today rankings, then Boston University at 6, Quinnipiac, and North Dakota. And so it is definitely early in the season, but it feels like there's a lot of big heavyweights out there. What about the Moon rankings? How would you say, who are the real best teams in the country, including UND perhaps?
So I mentioned Denver and BC. I mean, I don't think anybody tops those 2 teams until we see that on the ice because, I mean, you have the defending national champions and then BC with all the weapons they have. BU right up there with BC. I can't wait until BC and BU go up against each other, but that's neither here nor there this weekend. North Dakota, I asked everybody in the presser, is this kind of a measuring stick game? And measuring stick series, I should say. It absolutely is because, again, BU, one of the top teams in the country, and for UND, they want to be up not just at 7, not just at number 5. They want to be at the top. So this is a really good series for them to measure up against one of the top 3 teams in the country this weekend to see where they are at to try and get to the top.
And what do they have to do, in your opinion, to really come out? And Barry never just wants a split. He wants the sweep. So what does UND have to do both nights to take care of business at the Ralph?
Yeah, Brad Barry, Louis Jammernick, and Abram Wiebe all talked about playing physicals and puck possession. Those were a couple of the big things because those are 2 of the best two of the biggest things UND has to do to match up against the firepower that BU has. And the other thing that Brad Berry mentioned as well was getting a fast start. That was an issue against Minnesota State. They went down 2-0 on Friday. They went down early and couldn't come back on Saturday. And obviously getting started has been a bit of an issue for this team this year, because even against Providence, the first 5 or 6 minutes were a little iffy. So that's going to be really key, because you don't want to be down in a hole right away. And they were a couple of times against Minnesota State this past weekend.
Now, Eric, you've been doing player profiles. Another one coming up this week. Don't give away too much, but what can we look forward to coming up next?
Yeah, I'll give you just a little bit of a tease here, Adam. We're going to talk about the guy who scored the game winner, his first UND goal over the weekend. That's Carter Wilkie, the RIT transfer, one of 3 UND players who transferred into the program this offseason, made a name for himself at RIT, back-to-back 40-point seasons with the Tigers, only the 4th player in the Division I era in school history there to do that. So a really big addition for UND, and we'll learn how he's getting acclimated to North Dakota as well.
Well, thank you so much, Eric. That's Eric Moon at the Ralph, and keep it on tap. He'll have you covered all weekend. Big game Friday, big game Saturday. That's all for now on Valley News Now. We'll see you next time.